Hello, everybody. We move into the month of May here in the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. May 3rd, 1986 is our episode for today. On the heels of right coming up to the stadium show that usually hits every May. That's what we've got in the next couple of weeks. Jerry Allen and Steve Simpson kick off this particular program. Steve Simpson, of course, from the South African country, and his brother Sean eventually does join World Class here in the next few months. I do believe. I know they do have some tag team stuff. Maybe that's in '87 though. I'm not really sure, but certainly within the next year, definitely. I'm assuming less than a year. That's there. Jerry Allen, using a bit of technical prowess, goes for things like drop toe holds and arm bars, sit out time and the like. Simpson, with a phenomenal physique but not a lot of experience, he's here to gain the experience, the pull of the leg. From the go behind, really a good opening match. If you're an independent wrestler and need to learn just basic holds, worth watching this as a match concept. Always going back to the match, always going back to ride time, always going back to switches. If you're in the middle of a match and you don't want to do high spots, knowing how to do your basics really does count, does matter, and is useful to anybody who cares enough. Needless to say, Simpson up and off the ropes, up and over, attempts the hip toss, but Simpson manages to get it, then gets an atomic drop. Allen sends himself flying over the top rope from the atomic drop, the force thereof, and we move into the, second half of this match. Lots of first run action here this week on World Class. Always good when there is first run action to be had for everybody. And without a doubt, worthwhile thing to see if you are an up-and-coming talent. Also, vertical suplex, long holding hanging style by Allen. Surprising there, because I'm not used to seeing him in a power position. But maybe that's the way they go, the abdominal stretch. Perfected by Wilbur Snyder and used here by Jerry Allen. Every time I say Jerry Allen, I think of Jerry Gray. Jerry Gray dealing with cancer and those issues. Search out his GoFundMe if you want to support a wrestler who certainly deserves that support. First found out about him on the 605 podcast, and if you want to hear stories, Jerry Gray's got them. Worth going out of your way to check out the 605 for that purpose. Clothesline by Allen, and he misses the elbow drop. Can't believe they give an opening match almost. They've given it almost 9 minutes at this point, which here on World Class, when the show is running just under 41 minutes, to have that much time is a pretty big deal. Simpson though goes to the top rope on the outside. And manages a crossbody from the top 1, 2, and 3 for the victory. So, big win for him. Then we move to another interesting match. Actually, I think these are mostly first run pairings in terms of matches this week. 4 matches in total. Rick Rude and Brian Diaz. Rude, of course, the World Heavyweight Champion. Managed by Percy Pringle. Diaz, a guy who I haven't necessarily seen. Maybe did a tour of Japan or Germany. I know '86 you'd see a lot of talents pick up extra weeks in international tours because the money was really good, especially coming off World Class TV, which was one of the first programs to be syndicated internationally. I think by this point it was the winter of '86 where they did a New England run. Think about that, New England out of Texas, big deal. Anyway, so a hip toss by Rude technically choosing to wear those leopard print pants again we talked about, I think, last week. And Rude on the receiving end of a roll-up. Doesn't get all he wants out of that, does Diaz, but front face lock and the like. Rude manages or tries to get the suplex and does in fact get a suplex there. And then we kind of do see the continuance of that motion. Rude continuing to kind of crank down on a reverse chinlock, inverted atomic drop by Diaz. Diaz with a clothesline too. Rude sends him to the outside, not wanting to waste any motion. Rude always takes an advantage to pose and show his superiority. Really does make him kind of next level as a heel. You'd be surprised how many heels don't get the most out of kind of that posing and making a big deal. Block of the monkey flip type maneuver on the outside, and a happy dance by Percy Pringle on the outside, realizing Rude back in control, flying clothesline or running clothesline, and the win for Rude is the way we go. And then another first run matchup, Steve Regal, AWA version, not the English version, against Kerry Von Erich. Von Erich, of course, your former world heavyweight champion, multi-time America's champion, multi-time Texas champion, but world NWA world champion before World Class seceded from the NWA. Nice jacket, new vest by Steve Regal, all black, kind of sequin sparkly stuff. Anyway, so Regal goes right to work on Von Erich. This does not bode well for him. Clothesline by Kerry. Kerry actually hits him so hard he falls down on the clothesline, which you do see from Kerry upon occasion. Kerry gets a little overzealous from time to time. Anyway, it is Regal who is complaining about how he is being treated, and he is certainly not being treated the way he wants to be. Anyway, that is a short an understatement. Anyway, so Kerry holds with the reverse chinlock, followed by several shots, punches, and Regal rolls to the outside, gets back on the inside, hits a snapmare, and takes Kerry over. Kerry actually goes with the stomach claw and gets a victory with the stomach claw. That is a weird process, as you don't normally see a pinfall victory with the stomach claw, usually used for submission. Anyway, main event time, Terry Gordy and the Great Kabuki versus Bruiser Brody and the Missing Link. Gordy and Brody brawling around the ring on the outside. They have about 8 or 9 minutes for the match. Brody and Gordy spend a bit of time brawling. Kabuki and Link manage to stay fighting on the inside. The camera focuses predominantly on Gordy and Brody because who knows how long Brody's going to stay around, for one. For two, they are brawling around the ring for the first several minutes of the match. Actually, they disappear from the match for a little while, actually, and what we have is the Link and Kabuki almost in a one-on-one match, even though it's still sanctioned as a tag. Kabuki, of course, managed now by Michael Hayes once again. Strange pairing, to say the very least, but strange bedfellows are necessary when you're in a bit of a promotional war. By this point, the UWF is cooking with gas. NWA in the middle of their I guess, hotter years. So World Class has to do something. Anyway, Kabuki manages with a couple of kicks, also manages to come up with a nerve hold, works the nerve hold for several minutes, as Kabuki has been known to do for almost since the beginning of time, since Kabuki existed. Link obviously using the running headbutt, diving headbutts whenever he can. Link does have Sunshine on the outside, so the interplay between a yelling Michael Hayes and a yelling Sunshine would be an interesting foray. Link always uses, as mentioned, the headbutts and is not afraid to try to get an advantage. Michael Hayes takes off the vest he has on, almost as if he's going to get in there with the Link himself, but doesn't seem really wants to do that. Diving headbutt into the lower abdomen of Kabuki from the second rope by the Link. is enough to gain some advantage for the Link, and the fans are solidly behind a man that they used to fear and have issues with. But we continue going through. Michael Hayes pounding on the ringside area, not happy with Kabuki's performance. Remember, this is only a couple of weeks from the video airing. I don't know if the match has taken place yet, but the video airing of the Texas Stadium where Kabuki's going to take on not one, not two, not three, but four people in a row. That is a big deal for Kabuki, to say the very least. But he is having enough trouble with the missing link. The armpit nerve hold makes a return. That is a regular use move by Great Kabuki. He's used that from the beginning of time as well. Then we see Kabuki try to keep the link down, does not succeed in keeping the missing link off of his feet. Nunchucks used, and the referee notices them discarded. Not quite sure why a bell wasn't called for there. Kabuki still goes after the link, and the match continues here. Kabuki finally does get caught, and missing link goes at it with the chair. Nothing really settled in this main event, but we are well into the month of May here in World Class in 1986. We'll be back with more right after this.